Sal, no, not again.
I'm down really bad. Like, I'm down bad.
What you're looking at here on your screen is a human leg.
Oh, man.
Sal is on his path to eating at Denny's.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the night. We have football back, and I've got one player playing tonight in Devonta Smith. I have rooting interest. We're playing Nathan. Football's back. The vibes could not be higher right now. We're going to hope that Devonta Smith has 2 touchdowns tonight against the Dallas Cowboys. Pretty bad matchup, honestly. The Cowboys kind of suck. Don't tell Danny that, but we'll see what happens.
So, as a Cowboys fan, unfortunately, I've made the executive decision to bench Javonte Williams tonight for Thursday Night Football in order to preserve my sanity for a little longer. Now I will have to play Cooper Kupp in the flex, which is a little brutal, but look at the bright side. I could be Nathan.
Literally just got off a start-sit live stream where I can't even tell you how many times I told people to start Devonta Smith. And of course, I'm playing Avery week 1 and he has Devonta Smith. So it makes me sick that I have to go up against Smith this week. I am hoping and praying that he puts up one of his classic goose eggs and does absolutely nothing. With my luck, though, and a matchup like the freaking Cowboys, who are in shambles right now, Devonta Smith is probably going to pop off and go absolutely crazy.
Well. I'm sitting here live streaming, and you know what the chat just told me? We have some McCaffrey injury news. It's legit. I go over to Twitter, and you know what I see? I see Christian McCaffrey limited practice on Thursday with the calf injury. And you know what's beautiful about this? Is I'm playing Sal this week, and Sal specifically drafted 1 spot ahead of me and decided to go against the grain and decided to take McCaffrey ahead of Saquon Barkley. And Barkley, in roughly about 30 minutes, is going to be dropping 200 yards on his head. And Sal hopefully likes the taste of pancakes because at the end of the day, he's going to be stuck in Denny's for 24 hours.
Sal, no, not again. Of all the things you did not want to hear heading into the season with CMC, the shot that you took over Justin Jefferson and Saquon Barkley is a calf issue. The same calves that he had issues with last season where he missed the whole year.
Mason, you have a couple of smudges on your upper lip. I don't know if you noticed that, but you might want to wipe those off before you start recording more videos.
Yeah, we did just find out that Christian McCaffrey could be out this week, but I did notice something actually more important than that. Have you noticed on Mason's clips there's been a little hair coming in, right here and a little bit right here? Mason looks like he's about to drive a white van around and ask everybody if they want candy and if they want to go to the park with him or something like that.
Oh, hey guys. I hope my natural hotness and totally naturally looking facial hair, mustache specifically, isn't too much for you to handle while you're watching my beautiful face. Let's also just completely ignore the fact that I just basically want to be like everyone that's on my team. If you look really closely and notice that Josh Allen, Saquon, Jacobs, T. Higgins, DK, etc., literally all have mustaches. That's just a coincidence. I did win 100,000 on Underdog.
Oh, man. Did something happen on Thursday? I don't know. Well, all right. Let me paint you the picture of my Thursday just so you could get in the mind and the head of Sal Vetri before the obvious big bomb of Christian McCaffrey news comes out. It's Thursday. Probably a top 3 most stressful, work-related thing happened for me behind the scenes, like a partnership, legal type thing, all that had to deal with that. So stressed. So the moment I get to the bar, and I get there early, right? I'm trying to get a seat right in front of the TVs. I'm there an hour and a half before kickoff. I order myself an old fashioned. I'm with family, I'm with friends, and it's a stiff old fashioned, which normally I'm like, stiff old fashioned. Give me a little bit of sweetness. We needed the stiff old fashioned. Nachos, loaded nachos come to the table. Edge is starting to come off. It's happiness. It's laughing. Finally, the stressful day is over, and I kid you not, in my head as I'm like, this is nice, this is what I wanted, tap on the shoulder. Girlfriend's brother shows me his phone. I read it, Christian McCaffrey, limited calf injury, and I'm like, yeah, that's some random Twitter account, I don't believe that. So I didn't believe it. And then he's like, no, and he scrolls and it's Adam Schefter. And I kid you not, the stages of grief. We know the stages of grief, right? Denial, anger, bargaining, who knows what the hell that means, depression, and acceptance. I skipped directly out of order to depression. My soul left my body. I went to the bathroom, I started saying, why me, God? Why me? I come back out, and I backtrack. I backtrack from complete and utter depression to denial. He's going to be fine. Friday injury report's going to come out full participant. He's going to be getting 20 touches on Sunday. Everything's completely fine. Kyle Shanahan. He loves to troll the media. He's trolling the media with this one. I later find out that Christian McCaffrey had a scheduled media to talk to them after practice Thursday. Doesn't go to that, which is very uncommon apparently for him. Yes. Denial, depression. These are all the things that were going through my mind. You're damn right I went back up and got a second old fashioned after that.
Okay, so the game literally just started. It's only been one play. A player went down with an injury, and then Badaki's best defensive player, Jalen Carter, spat on a human being. Do you have anything to say for yourself? This is the team that you're representing here?
Jalen Carter's pre-game warm-ups. Here's how it went down. Gonna knock this freaking game plan out of the park.
All right, so look, I know technically what Jalen Carter did was wrong. We're all on the same page. But there is a world out there where people pay for that. So I'm like, maybe we should give him the benefit of the doubt because we're not exactly sure what the intentions are. And some people pay really good money for that. So, for free, I don't know. We'll see.
While Sal is panicking, looking up McCaffrey updates, I'm over here just rewinding Saquon Barkley scoring his, first touchdown of the game. I'm smart. I decided to draft the best running back in the league and the best offense in the NFL. And Sal decided that he wanted to get cute and draft a running back coming off a devastating injury.
Ladies and gentlemen, we drafted the first kicker in the league. And this is why we did it. Because Brandon Butter Aubrey from 53 yards is cash money. Right now, it's at halftime and things couldn't be going better for me. I'm sorry to Badaki, love him. But right now, Brandon Aubrey with 11 points at the half. Obviously, Eagles defense. Shout out to Jalen Carter for, doing his thing. We're currently up 15 to 1 point. It's early on. Doesn't really mean much, but I'm ecstatic right now with my choice of Butter Aubrey.
Okay, first half update. Can somebody tell me where Devonta Smith is? Are you alive? Send proof of life, please.
This is my impression of A.J. Brown tonight against the Cowboys.
First game of the year, and it's almost over. I've held George Pickens to literally nothing. Surprise, surprise. The best defense in the league last year still has the same coordinator. And of course, our defense is going to be number one. And again, Saquon, one-hand grabs. It's crazy to think this league let me get him at 6. Thank you, Sal. And honestly, you deserve what you're getting right now in week 1.
In terms of everything else that happened on Thursday night, the actual gameplay and the matchup for me and Mason, Saquon Barkley goes out there on Thursday Night Football, and I'm just thinking there's no way that this possibly gets worse for McCaffrey unless Saquon throws a 30-burger on my head. Thankfully, Saquon, by Saquon Barkley standards, has a pedestrian performance. Only 80 total yards, a touchdown, somehow becomes a PPR monster out of nowhere with 4 receptions, but I'll take 18 fantasy points out of Saquon Barkley. I'll sign up for that every single week that I'm facing Saquon Barkley. It could have been much worse on Thursday night. The obvious biggest bombshell here, though, is Christian McCaffrey.
Fantasy football is back when you're playing Nathan and his kicker outscores your 4th-round wide receiver pick. The vibes are not immaculate at the moment, I will say that.
Christmas comes early, and Jake Elliott outscores Devonta Smith. Fly, Jakey, fly.
Psst, Johnny, come here. Yo, what's up, man? Hey, man, I'm going to need you to do something to CMC. McCaffrey? I don't know. He's got a lot of eyes on him. I think it's going to be $15,000. Brother, the first place prize is only $10,000. I get it, but I mean, don't you want the glory? Aren't you in it for the glory, not the $10,000? Yeah, actually, you're right. It may be worth it. I need to take him out. It doesn't need to be for the entire season, but at least for this week. I mean, if you could do something to the calf, the Achilles, they probably wouldn't suspect it's us. They would probably just think it was natural. I think that would be best. But if you cut it and he's out for the year, do what you got to do. Okay, well, if I take him out for the season and not just 1 week, don't be mad at me. You're the one who asked for it. I'll go for the calf. And yeah, you'll probably see it from Shefty on Twitter. Appreciate you, man.
Well. It looks like McCaffrey officially does not practice with the team on Friday. So our plan or our mission for Mr. O, Johnny O, Pal, Looks like it worked out. Looks like we have successfully taken out the competition, and we are on our path to being 1-0, and Sal is on his path to eating at Denny's.
Just got the news that Christian McCaffrey officially was a DNP, the worst case scenario in Friday's practice, and is questionable. I will say he was in a helmet. I'm trying to cope. I'm not concerned long-term about Christian McCaffrey. I am concerned for Sunday, but I think I dodged a long-term bullet. Knock on wood. Hopefully fantasy gods will spare me for saying that.
Dear Sal, thank you for drafting CMC. I love J. Jeff, and I love you. From Nathan.
So, little known fact about me is I'm actually an artist. I thought, in order to help my friend Sal out, I could just give everybody a nice little understanding of what's going on here right now with Mr. Christian McCaffrey. So what you're looking at here in front of you is a beautiful process. And eventually this is going to look like a calf. So before becoming a YouTuber, I actually studied 10 years at Harvard University to become a doctor. So I thought with all this chaos with Christian McCaffrey, you could use a doctor's opinion. So this is Dr. Savage breaking down what's happening with Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, fantasy superstar. What you're looking at here on your screen is a human leg. The back of the leg where we have the calves. These girthy things right here. My official breakdown of what's going on here is Christian McCaffrey has a big old boo-boo to his leg. Now, because that is present, unfortunately, Sal Vetri also has a boo-boo, but this one's different because the boo-boo is of the heart. He has a broken heart.
All right, guys. I just realized I'm down really bad. Like, I'm down bad. Like, obviously the optics of like everything that's happening right now, you're probably like, yeah, Sal's down pretty bad right now. Let me explain to you how bad I'm down. I got like an hour and a half drive. There's some traffic to go hang out with some friends for the night, see them, have a good time. So I'm pondering my thoughts on this Christian McCaffrey stuff, right? And I just start thinking about what I'm grateful for in life. You know you're down bad when you're like, man, I got a good girlfriend. I got some good friends. We haven't even had the full slate of week 1 games yet, and I'm already just in grateful for what I have mode because of the injuries to my fantasy football team. Yeah, I'm just grateful for a lot of things in life. So I got a good life. If McCaffrey has to miss a week, that's okay. I got a good life.
Well, it's about time to have Sal's funeral because it doesn't look like Christian McCaffrey's going to play in week 1 after a whole offseason of everybody saying that Christian McCaffrey is healthy. I'm not going to lie. Sal's kind of going through it right now. And, I'm sure he'll forget about it by the time on Sunday he wakes up, rolls out of bed, and goes to brunch, and then goes and plays pickleball, and then moseys back to where he lives and looks at the scores and sees that football actually happened. But for now, it does look like Sal's pretty upset, and that is kind of devastating. What an absolute roller coaster of emotions for Christian McCaffrey, and for Sal, by the way, who I can't help but feel a little bit bad for it.
Everything has been doom and gloom for the past 2 hours. I'm sitting in here, like I said, grateful for what I have on this drive all by myself. And then I'm sitting here and I look up and I see a rainbow. And I'm like, that's nice. That's a nice rainbow. And then, don't do this at home, folks. I just get an alert on my phone and I look at it. And it's Christian McCaffrey says he feels great and plans to play week 1. Boys, we're back. I'm fully back. The stages of grief went all the way to acceptance in that he's not playing, it's fine. And within 3 minutes, I'm back to denial. Christian McCaffrey in a cutoff, in the locker room, looking fit. He said he plans to play week 1. I was ready to play Isaac Correndo and get 4 points and try and have a come from behind win pause against Mason, but it seems like we're back. Christian McCaffrey, there was never a doubt. We're back.
Starting to get the butterflies. You're like legit butterflies. My guy for 2025. Omarion Hampton plays his first NFL game in 43 minutes. I am moderately nervous for this.
All right, we got to do this again. Second straight nights. Avery's got a big player that's going. Avery needs that big player to do really well. Nathan needs that big player to do really not well. Devonta Smith with like less than 5 points last night. Tonight, I need Omari and Hampton to have like less than 10 to 12 points, and then we'll be A-okay with that.
Well, it appears we are off to the same start, continuing our generational run from last year, because Xavier Worthy is now questionable to return with a shoulder injury, and it looked bad. And I fear that Danny may have taken me out to the back of the woodshed and put me down like I'm a rabid pet. One thing I feel like I need to add on to this too is Xavier Worthy in week 1 decides to f me every single time too, because last year he literally end around scored like a 50-yard touchdown when I had the Mahomes-Kelsey stack. Maybe I just need to stay away from the Kansas City Chiefs altogether.
One of the things that lost Corey the league last year was going all in on the Chiefs. If you remember, this dude took Mahomes and Kelsey in rounds 3 and 4. And it looks like going all in on the Chiefs again this year with Xavier Worthy and Isaiah Pacheco, maybe taking them down. And honestly, the battle for last place may be a repeat of Mr. Nathan Schmidt and Mr. Corey Bushland. And honestly, I'm just here as a really excited viewer.
You just gotta feel bad for Bush on a night like tonight. Few men have had worse Friday nights than what Bush is dealing with here. Not only does Xavier Worthy get injured on the first drive, but Pacheco does absolutely nothing for him. As well as he finds out that he drafted with his second round pick the 3rd best Los Angeles Chargers wide receiver. Now, Bush, you said in the audition video that you were just happy that somebody noticed you. And I'm going to notice you again. If you want to fix your mistake and trade Lad McConkey to me with a little bit of a sweetener for Keenan Allen, I will gladly accept.
This game's about to end, and it amazes me how bad Corey is at the game of fantasy football. My guy, you have Isaiah Pacheco, the guy that you called us raging casuals for not liking, scoring 4.8 points. Lad McConkey, great pick. You comped him to Garrett Wilson. Yeah, it looks like he really is your Garrett Wilson this year, scoring less than Quentin Johnston. And you have Xavier Worthy. You threw Xavier Worthy out there to score 0 points. And now you have no Christian Kirk, you have no Xavier Worthy, and have fun learning Josh Downs, buddy.
So now that it's all said and done, Omari and Hampton, 8 points, less than the 10 to 12 that I was shooting for, so that's A-okay. Patrick Mahomes turns into Cam Newton, which I honestly, I really can't complain about that. Really what I care about is after the first 2 games of week 1, Devonta Smith has 4.5 points, Omari and Hampton has 8 points, and I'm heading into the Sunday slate with all my starters having yet to have played, and I think I have a pretty good advantage.
Ladies, I got some bad news and I got some good news. Good news is the mustache is here. I understand y'all have all been waiting for it and you've all been wanting it. The bad news is the reason why we are growing out the mustache is I'm trying to become like my quarterback. Ever since I traded for Josh Allen, I realized, you know what? I got to do what I can to be like him. So 1, he has a mustache, and 2, he made a pretty big decision. I want to say maybe last year or so. So I felt like probably we should follow in those footsteps. We should do what we can. So tomorrow morning, it's going to be a big morning. Hopefully it's a good one. And if not, this clip may never see the light of day.